I want a girlfriend and I want a girlfriend right now. At least that's what I thought until I read Genesis chapter 2. Genesis chapter 2 opened my eyes and it just blew my mind so much that I thought to myself, I've been doing this the wrong way. There are some things that we miss along the lines because of this rush to fulfill the desire for companionship. And when you read Genesis chapter 2, you recognize exactly what it is that you might have been doing wrong as you wanted to jump into a relationship. That's at least for me and my experience. I read Genesis chapter 2 and I realized that, wait a minute, God does not create Eve at the same time as Adam. And I wondered why. And I guess God wanted Adam to know that before anyone else, I have to come first in your life. Before you can look for a partner, first build a relationship with me. First seek out to have a relationship with me. God needs to be your first companion in your life. See, the thing is, we rush into relationships while our relationship with God is not right. And the reason why you need to have a relationship with God, to build a relationship with God, is that being in a relationship with God is good for you. Being in God's presence transforms your life for the better. If you read the Bible, Jesus says that you shall know them by their fruits. I mean, Jesus, those people the disciples who had been with Jesus and been in the presence of Jesus, who were his friends, became better and changed for the better as they were in God's presence. And so when you are in the presence of God and you spend your time daily getting to know God, building a relationship with God, your character is refined for the better, so that when you come to that relationship, you come as a better person who has been refined by the potter, as you are the clay. So building a relationship with God is something that is an opportunity for God to work in us to be better people. Now, when you read the fruits of the Spirit, man, those qualities are qualities that anyone would be lucky to have in a partner. Gentleness, faithfulness, self-control, love, kindness. All of those things are qualities that you get when you have a relationship with God, when you build a relationship with God, as God works in your life. There is this in First Kings, when the temple was built, there was a place known as the quarry. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. I think it's First Kings chapter 6, yes, or something. They would take the bricks and the blocks that were supposed to be fitted for the temple, and they would work on them there at the quarry. So they could not make any noise by the temple. So everything that needed to be shaped and everything that needed to be built needed to be worked on at the quarry. There was noise, there was chaos and everything. But when it came to the temple, it was already fitted to be fit for the temple, to go in the temple without anything having been worked on there at the temple premises. I hope that made sense. And to me, spending time with God in your singleness is your quarry period, is the period where God works on you. See, we want to go into that relationship while we have characters that are not refined. And so we get to those relationships and we mess up and becomes chaotic, and things just become bad and they go from bad to worse and things like that, because our characters have not been refined, have not been worked on by being in the presence of God. And I'm not saying that you should be perfect. You'll never be perfect. But there are certain things that God can help you with, patience, faithfulness, all those things. God can work on you at the quarry and refine your character and build you, as the potter. You need, as the clay, you need the potter to be working on you, to fit you and to shape you for the right person, so that when you go and into the temple premises, into that relationship, your character is fit enough to be able to manage the relationship. See, sometimes we want God's blessings, but we don't have the capacity to receive God's blessings. Just like the prodigal son, he wanted an inheritance, but he was not wise enough or smart enough to be able to handle and manage it. So when it came to his hands, he squandered it. So God's blessings require us to also be able to manage them. That's why they work in his own time as well. That's why we receive them in his own time. So something that might be good for you in the wrong time, you will not be able to handle it, and it will be bad for you, So a relationship at the wrong time will not do you any good. But if you are ready and refined to be able to manage God's blessings, which come through in the form of a partnership or a companionship, then it will be a blessing to you, because God has, molded your hands to be able to receive these blessings in your hands and be able to take care of them. Something else that I think we need to change our minds on is the whole idea of expecting to receive something as we get into a relationship. We want our partners to be people who bring us some sort of satisfaction, some sort of happiness. There's even this thing that is said that you complete me and all that, And to be honest, you do not come to a relationship incomplete and then expecting your partner to be the one to add on and complete you. You will never be satisfied. Satisfaction, or true satisfaction or fulfillment, comes from the Lord and in the Lord. And if you take the time to seek God first and have God in your life, He will give you the satisfaction that you need, so that when you go into the relationship, you are not going there expecting something, but you come already satisfied, and you come there already being complete, having something to bring, not having something that you are expecting or wanting to receive from the relationship. David says in Psalms 23 verse 1, "The Lord is my shepherd, I lack nothing." Meaning that I don't need anything. I don't need anyone to complete me. I have Jesus who completes me. I have Christ in my life who completes me, who gives me the ultimate satisfaction. Therefore, I need nothing and no one. Anything else that comes is just an added benefit. See, we think that we cannot survive without relationships. And if you think that you can't survive without a relationship, that you need a relationship in order to live, then that's why you need to seek God. Because as you seek God, He will give you water so that you never thirst no more. As He told the woman at the well, once you receive Christ in your life and you seek Him daily, He will complete you. He will give you the satisfaction, so that anything else that comes, it's not a necessity, but it becomes an added blessing to you, because you are already complete. That's why in Psalms 23 verse 5 He says, "My cup overflows." The cup cannot overflow if it's not full already. And because God has already filled up David's cup, anything else that came after that, whether it was wealth, whether it was a woman, or whatever it is, it became an added blessing. It just added on to what was already there. And when something overflows, it drops to the floor and things like that. And so when you come to a relationship already fulfilled, and your partner is already fulfilled and satisfied with Christ, and you come together, your cups will overflow, so that those who are around will feel the effects of the flow. Your relationship will also be a blessing to anyone else who is around to experience it. So yeah, God first before companionship, before relationship. Number 2, God gave Adam a task or a mission and a purpose before He gave him a partner. And so I'm here to just say that we have to think about purpose before partnership. We cannot be seeking for partners, for relationships, while we have no purpose. We cannot be seeking for people to join us in our directionless life. For we need to seek out God so that He can give us our purpose, so that we may have direction in our lives. So that when you invite someone to your life, you invite them knowing very well that you are going somewhere. The reason why many of our relationships do not work out, or many of our relationships do not seem to progress, is because you are in relationships with no direction. Both of you don't know where you're going. You're just driving. I mean, it's like those movies whereby someone just gets into a cab and is like, just drive. The cab driver asks, where are you going? I don't know, just drive. And the cab driver just drives anywhere, and it's like that. You just drive anywhere, just go anywhere. You don't know where you're going because you have no direction. All you're doing is just driving. Nothing is being fulfilled. No one is being blessed because of your relationship, because your relationship has no direction. Both of you have no direction. How can you invite someone to something that is not going anywhere? It reminds me of the time whereby I was running last year. Now, I used to run 10,000 steps at times, which was a few kilometers and everything. And I was kind of proud of myself, but it did not feel very satisfying in a way because I used to just run around my house. I used to go around in circles, running this distance, but seemingly not going anywhere. And so I did not see any progress or progression because I was not going anywhere. Yes, I ran the distance. I could see the numbers, but those numbers meant nothing because I did not go anywhere. So that's why our relationships follow the same pattern, whereby you date for years and years, but there seems to be no progress, simply because there is no direction. There is no purpose which is directing you guys. Both of you don't know where you are going. And then you become hard on your partner. Why is he not progressing? Why is he not going anywhere? Because you found him with no purpose. How can you expect him to progress or to be doing something when you found him with no purpose, with no direction? And so you need to take the time to ask God to guide you, to direct you into what your purpose is, into what you are supposed to do. Adam was busy while God was thinking these things about him, while God was looking for a partner, or while God was thinking about him having a partner. He was busy doing something, because you can't require help if you are not doing anything. In order for you to have help, you need to be active, so that there is something that you can be helped with. You can't be helped if you are not doing anything, if there is no activity. You need to be working, you need to be doing something, you need to be mission-driven, purpose-driven, so that relationship is also purpose-driven, it has direction. You cannot invite someone while you have no purpose, because you do not know how they will fit in your purpose. When you look for something in a dirty room, you will not find it, because everything is just chaotic, it's a mess. But once you put things back in their places, once you make your room clean, then you will see what is missing or what is not in its place. You can't do that in a chaotic room. And when you're living a purposeless life or a life with no direction, it's essentially a chaotic room. You can't add someone to that dynamic whereby you do not know where they will fit or how they will fit into your overall purpose. You do not know why you need them. You just bring them to your life because of your own desires of the flesh or desires of companionship. But as time goes on, as you then discover what you're meant to do, that person will then begin to slow you down. That person will then limit your potential because they did not fit in your purpose in the first place. But because you rushed to get them into your life before actually figuring out what it is that you need to do, then that person becomes a hindrance to what you're supposed to do. So bring someone into something that already knows where it's going. I'm sorry, I'm just hitting a lot of nerves today. Please forgive me. I'm talking to myself here, because this was something God was like, no, bro, listen. Stop it. Think about this first before you want to rush into a relationship or relationships. Relationship, not relationships. A relationship. And then number 3. Now there's a lot of this that I covered in an extensive Bible study on the podcast. So you can check that out. I think it will be more helpful. I'm just trying to summarize everything into something that is YouTube worthy, so you can just check it out. It's more extensive, and I would highly recommend it. So number 3. So number 1, God first before companionship. 2, purpose before companionship or partnership or relationship. And number 3, notice this. Notice this. It is God who recognizes Adam's need for a partner. Adam was so focused on his mission, on doing what God wanted him to do, as we should be. And it was God who then saw the need for a partner in Adam's life. And so I'm here to tell you today that you need to just let God cook. Let him do his thing. See, our problem is that we're so focused on finding people that we are not focused on our purpose. God says, here's what you need to do. Do it. And I will recognize the need and will provide for your needs as I have called you into this purpose. Because that's my job. I'm the one who's supposed to provide for you. And I'll bring what you need when you need it at the right time. But you're busy focusing on finding the person instead of just letting God cook. When God is the one who does this, he'll bring you the right person. Not just the right person, but at the right time. See, we have to stop operating on our own time. We have to stop operating according to our own timing. We allow our hearts to lead us, to direct us. Now, just because I have a need, I need to go and satisfy it. No. It is God who directs us. We need to allow our desires we need to submit our desires to God's will. Meaning that if I desire this, but God does not desire it for me, my desires have to submit to the fact that God does not want this for me. So you have to go away. You have to leave right now. It's not the right time. Because God does not want it, I don't want it as well. We just allow these desires to just dictate us, dictate our path, to lead us, pull us by our nose and everything like that. But you have to allow God to cook. Adam was sleeping when God brought him the partner, when God was making this partner. And that sleep to me symbolizes peace. Peace in trusting God to do what he does at his own time. So I just want to say to you today, stop being worried. Stop being worried about the right partner, when you will get married and things like that. Do what God wants you to do first. And then let him cook. At the right time, he will bring the right person to you. It is God who brought Eve to Adam. Adam did not go out looking for her. God just brought her to him. And God will bring your person to you at the right time. And you'll know it is the right person because it is God who brought them to you. Yeah. I hope I haven't touched a lot of nerves. It certainly touched me, and something I'm still grappling with as well. Because there is that need, from don't be. But honestly, I do think that God has shown us a good template in Genesis chapter 2. That before a relationship, build a relationship with me first. God first. He will satisfy you so that when you go to that partnership or relationship, you have something to give. You have something that you will bring to the table. Number 2, purpose before partnership. You can't bring someone into a car. Can't invite someone to a car which has no direction. Invite them to something that is moving towards something. 3, let God cook. Focus on your mission. Focus on your purpose. Do what God wants you to do. And in his own time, it is him who will bring that person to you. Yeah. So yeah, that's I guess those are the 3 things that I've considered that God has revealed to me in a way, and I just pray that he will work in your hearts as he's working in mine right now. Please do check out the full episode on Spotify. I do believe that it will be it is more extensive than this. So yeah, it will definitely be helpful if you take the time to listen to it. It's a full-on Bible study. So yeah, thank you very much for watching this. Make sure that you subscribe and share with someone who might need to hear it. Okay, wait. Maybe someone might be like, what do you mean? What do you mean? That maybe it might offend someone if you share it to them. But if God directs you to share, then do that. Then do that. Even if it's on your WhatsApp status. But if it had some value in your life somehow and you are thinking about it, please do leave a comment down in the comment section below. Other than that, see you next time. Same time on this channel. Goodbye.